Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. There is a message that I received, then I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation, and this is the translation of the message that I received. The message reads like this: Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post for me as anonymous? I am a man who is not yet married, and I have my own reason as to why I am not yet married. I do not have any children at all. Whenever I am in a relationship with any woman that I get involved with in any relationship, the moment that we fall in love, then we start dating. If we have protected sex, then there will be no problem at all. The only problem will start when me and that woman that I'll be involved with start to have unprotected sexual intercourse. What will happen is that she will start to have some kind of discharge. Then the discharge, if we continue sleeping together without using any protection at all, the discharge will start to change from that colorless, odorless discharge, and it will become this creamy white discharge that will be so smelly until it is green. Once that discharge becomes green and smelly like that, then it will be so difficult for me and that woman that I'll be dating for us to have intercourse. If we start using protection again, all that discharge will mysteriously disappear and we'll start to have normal intercourse. My brother, I am someone who started dating very late in life. I only started dating when I came here in South Africa. That was when I started dating. I started dating this other woman, but that woman that I got into a relationship with, whom I can say she was the first woman that I ever made love to. She was way older than I was, but after sleeping together, she started having this green discharge. So I then thought that maybe it was a fault. The reason why she was getting all of this discharge, it was maybe she had infected me with a certain kind of an STI. After fighting a lot, since me and that woman, we used to work at the same place together. She was the maid and I was the gardener, but we fell in love. So we started to fight and the situation was too much tense for us. Then we decided to go to the clinic so that we can see if indeed we were HIV positive or if we had any kind of an STI. So when we went to the clinic, then when the test came back, all the STI tests that we had taken, they came back all negative. Then I began to wonder what was wrong with me, because I am not HIV positive. I do not have any STI. I have been to different doctors. I come out negative, but whenever I try to fall in love with a different woman, then it will seem as if there will be an STI that will be involved in the mix. I have dated a lot of women. I once dated this woman, but she was a Sotho speaking woman. As I was dating that woman, everything was okay at the beginning of our relationships. But I really loved that woman so much until one day when we were busy making love, I was tired of making love to this woman whilst using condoms. You know, like when you are in love, you reach a point whereby when you look at the woman that you are in love with, then you will see that there is no need for you to use condoms anymore. So when she was not looking, I then lied to her that the condom that I was wearing, it was too dry. I then got out of bed and I pretended to change the condoms, but as I was busy changing the condoms, I then took this other one which I had already made a marking on it so that it will break by the time that we will be having intercourse. Then we continued having intercourse. As we were having intercourse, then that is how that condom broke until we started having intercourse without anything. By the time that she found out that this is what had happened, then she said we should just continue. But my brother, that discharge then started to affect her. She started having a green discharge. So I thought that maybe it is far much better that I stay alone because I didn't want to hurt all of these women that I was dating. I began to wonder what was wrong with me. I dated a lot of women until I finally gave up and I became single. That time when I became single, I was working for another white man as his gardener. This white man that I work for is a police officer, but his wife works from home. She has an office in their house. So they have one maid and two gardeners, me and this other older guy that I found already working for them. So it happened that one day when I was busy weeding the flowers, this bed of flowers that I was busy weeding, it is just right next to her office. As I was waking, I found myself in a vision and my spirit had left my body. When my spirit had left my body, I then proceeded to walk and I entered into her office, and she did not even realize that there was something spiritual that was about to happen to her. She went ahead with her work, sitting on her laptop, and I started romancing her and touching her, doing that thing that is called sexual magic. But when she felt like she was too much turned on and she could not understand that it was me who was doing this to her, but using spiritual methods, she then rushed to the bathroom to wipe herself, for she was too wet. But I followed her in the spirit and I continued touching her until the feelings had overpowered her and the magic was just too much for her. So she felt so sleepy and went into her bedroom. I then followed her in her bedroom, and that is how I slept with my madam. So according to her, whilst she was busy dreaming, she was dreaming as if she was making love to her husband, but in that moment I was her spiritual husband. So this thing, it happens over and over again. Like if I am at a taxi rank, or if I look at a very beautiful woman, I can do the magic and I will sleep with her, and she will feel that someone is doing things to her, but she will be too excited to make it stop. There are nights when I wake up and get into a taxi. So this taxi that I get into, it is not a physical taxi like those ones that you can get in, but it is a spiritual taxi. This thing, it happens at night. So this taxi, I don't know how exactly it works, but whenever I lust after any woman that I'll be lusting after, that taxi, as soon as the evening arrives, the taxi will come and pick me up at the house where I'll be staying. Then it will take me to the houses of the women that I would have lusted after. And when I am on that taxi, there is something that I have noticed. Whenever I am on that taxi, there will be people that will be getting on that taxi as if they want to go somewhere in a rush. But those people, they look so different from me, because those people, they don't have faces. Like their faces will be without faces. It will be just a void at the place where their faces are supposed to be. I don't know if these people are witches or demons, but we don't speak to each other. Everyone will be minding their own business. The man who drives that taxi, it is like he knows all of our destinations, because when it is my turn to be dropped off at the place where I want to go, he will stop the taxi and drop me off without telling me. And when I get off from the taxi, I then go to the woman's place, that one that I would have lusted after throughout the day. So when I approach her house, then I will knock on the door and she will sleepwalk from her bedroom or from where she will be sleeping. Then she will come to the front door and she will open the door for me, and I'll become her spiritual husband throughout the night. I don't know why I do this, but when a woman is too sweet for me in bed, I won't sleep with her once. I will sleep with her throughout the night without giving her any rest. Hence, some women, when they wake up, they'll be feeling so tired. But if she doesn't taste so good to me, I'll just do it once, then I will leave her house. Whenever I finish sleeping with all of these women, I then open their legs and I will spit on their private parts. The reason as to why I spit on these women's private parts, I don't even know, but I only do it when I am doing this thing that is called sex magic. Yo guys, right there was a message that I received. Then I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation of that story. Yo, strange things do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.